My neighbors are coming out. We must hide. Hi friends, it's Amanda and I am back. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about crows. What do you know about crows? When I was growing up back millions of years ago on the playgrounds, when we would see a crow flying around or landing, we would literally be like, oh, someone's gonna die. Obviously, we've all heard the term like eating crow. That's if you've done something that you're unhappy, you made a judgment and it was wrong, or you put your foot in your mouth, something like that. Oftentimes is described as eating crow. Even a group of crows, they're called a murder. There's just such a negative association with crows, and I want to dismantle that. They're doing some pounding over there. I'm going to try to dispel some of the negative aspects that are associated with crows and show you that they are completely unfounded and that crows are actually quite amazing creatures. I am obsessed with them, and my goal in life is to become friends with the crows. One of the pieces of information that we have to really illustrate the crow's intelligence is their ability to create tools and use tools. They have problem-solving skills, and they also make rule-guided decisions. And some scientists have even said that a crow's intelligence is equivalent to about a 7-year-old human's intelligence. So this larger brain actually gives them sharp memories, and it allows them to memorize or remember people's faces. And it says that crows can actually remember faces for up to 50 years. As far as them using tools, crows are the only non-primate animal that use tools. Okay, so for communication, it says that crows actually have regional dialects, kind of like humans from the South have a Southern accent, and people from Boston have a very specific accent. Well, crows actually have different regional accents as well. So they use their caws to communicate with other crows and also to warn them of any impeding danger. For their behavior, it says that crows are very inquisitive, they're very mischievous, and at times can be very aggressive. Kind of sounds like me. So they are known to raid garbage cans and also run off other birds who might be in competition for their food. It says that they also hold funerals for their dead, and sometimes they stay near where they're born to help others raise their little crow babies. So as far as their diet, like what they eat, they are omnivores, which means they'll eat just about anything. They'll eat small animals, insects, fruit, seeds, and even garbage, unfortunately. They also store food in trees or even on the ground. So they store their food like I can. Becoming more and more, I just love crows. So there's a lot of history and lore that you can find if you search Native Americans and their perspective on crows. I'm very interested in the history of it. I'm not really sure how they got this negative connotation, but it's really interesting to look at what some of the previous civilizations, what their thoughts were about crows. Native American cultures and mythology, crows are often seen as symbols of wisdom and of good luck. They are associated with positive qualities. Crows are also said to have the ability to communicate with humans, which I believe is possible, and I want that to happen for me. So it says many tribes actually have very cordial relationships with the crows. For example, the Mackay people of Washington actually grew crowberries in order to feed the crows. So it says, while some people can't look past the harsh call and the frequent literary association with death, the Native American cultures saw the crow's meaning in a very positive light. Native American myths and legends frequently extol the crow's smarts and positions them as symbols of good luck and wisdom. So again, up into a certain point in time, crows were seen as very lucky and as being a bringer of wisdom. In Hindu tradition, crows are believed to serve as messengers between the physical and the spiritual world. It is thought that when we offer food to these black-winged creatures, they carry the essence of our offerings to our departed ancestors. Now, I've heard about that too. I've heard about like when a crow visits you, that it's like it's someone who recently died, like that might be your grandmother or something like that. Kind of strange, but interesting nonetheless. It says in some versions of Navajo tradition, for example, crows are considered dangerous because they eat the flesh of dead animals, which was very taboo at the time. On the other hand, the ancient Greeks believed that crows could tell the future. In Tibetan Buddhism, the protector of the Dharma takes the form of a crow. And I don't know if this is true, but I found some information saying that 1 caw means high, 3 caws means displeasure or danger, and 4 or more caws means a territorial act. So I need to keep that in mind when I'm actually out trying to attract the crows. So like I said, my goal in life is to somehow communicate with the crows. There was one time when a crow was flying around in our backyard, and I saw it and I heard it, and I I ran out very excited because I was like, oh, I hear a crow. And my dang dog just went into fight mode and goes running out there barking and scared the dang crow away. So if that dog has somehow kept me from befriending the crows, I'm going to be quite upset. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an area in my front yard, which, you know, there's no dogs running around out in the front yard. There might be some there's definitely squirrels and there's definitely rabbits and things like that. We know there's rabbits. But I'm going to set up a tray in the front yard, and I'm going to try to attract the crows. Okay, so I got these. These are just the unsalted, uncooked raw peanuts that I found at the grocery store. We are going to put these out. Okay, another thing that's suggested is like scraps of bread or pieces of corn, anything like that. Put it on the ground where crows typically feed. Soot, S-U-E-T, soot. Crows will eat soot from a feeder if they can reach it. I don't even know what soot is. So I've got the peanuts. I read on another website that you could put like dog food or cat food. So I'm gonna put that in a little tray as well, or a little like kind of flat feeder for the crows. Also, meal scraps, obviously, protein-based anything, absolutely. But what I'm gonna do is, because I know that they will come and they'll eat the food and then they'll potentially bring something to me, which I'm praying for. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a couple of shiny items in there with the food, not only to attract them, because if they see kind of a glimmering from when they're flying around or when they're around, maybe that glimmering light will kind of attract them, that there is something there, but then also encourage them like, hey, there's treasure here. Bring me some treasure. You know, potentially, I don't know. So I'm gonna bring you with me. We're gonna get the tray ready, and we're gonna see if I can attract any crows. Wish me luck. Okay, so what I've done is I've got this pie pan. It's just an old pie pan that we don't really use anymore. And this is now our dedicated crow feeder. So what I'm gonna do is I've got some dog food. We're gonna place in this little bowl here. Okay, so we're gonna put some dog food in here. Maybe not all of it, just a little bit. Then we're gonna take some of these raw, unsalted jumbo peanuts and we're gonna add this to the bowl as well. Now, like I said, this is considered like a delicacy, so they really like the peanuts. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a couple of little like glimmery things just to kind of maybe motivate them to bring me some treasures. So I have a lid to one of the jars that we canned, and I'm just gonna slip this in here as well, kind of underneath so it looks like it's something shining in there. This was a piece of a pencil. I found the top of a pencil, it's metal. I'm gonna put this in here too to just kind of see if it reflects some light. I have a key ring, a metal key ring. So I'm gonna place this in here as well. And then lastly, a paper clip, just a metal paper clip. So we're gonna put this in the bowl as well. And then we'll place this in the yard, and then I'll show you how I'm going to try to attract the crows. So let me place this. Okay, now what I also have done, and I've been doing for a very long time, is there's an app called Crow Sounds, and the app looks like this. Okay, and so what I do anytime I'm out at the store, because I rarely see crows around my house, but when I'm at the store, I actually, if I see crows, I'll start playing the crow sound, and they will interact with me. Like, I hear them crow, I think they're communicating probably with each other. But I do know that this works. So I'm gonna try to play some crow sounds now that we have our feeding table out for them. Okay, one thing that they mentioned was consistency and timing. So right now it is 9:30 in the morning. This is about the time that I actually get up and get going, as you can see. And I have been pretty consistently every 9:30 in the morning. I come out here, I add more food, and I play my crow sounds to see if I can attract any. So basically, I'm going to try a few more things to just try to let them find me. But then I'll definitely keep you updated on if I have received any gifts or if I have, you know, made an unbreakable bond, a friendship with the crows. I will let you know. My neighbors are coming out. We must hide. Okay, so here's our pie pan, our designated squirrel, well actually it is a squirrel pie pan because the crows are not coming. So, we've got our peanuts here. I'm sitting on this reflective sheet here and I'm gonna try to play some crow sounds. That dude right there just saw. Okay, so basically what happened is I had this out there and it rained pretty solid for a day. I went and checked on it and the cat food had literally just turned to mush. And the peanuts were in there and then there were just flies galore. I don't know, it was a breeding ground. So I basically dumped everything out, rinsed it out. I got my metal in there again, and this time I'm just gonna put the peanuts in. And we're gonna try with peanuts. It is calling for rain and the peanuts will make it through that. But the cat food, FYI, will turn to mush if you let it sit outside in the rain. So I'm gonna put the last of these peanuts in. I have another bag, but again, we're doing the raw jumbo peanuts. And we're just gonna put these in, okay? And then I also saw some information that crows are very drawn to like reflective things. That's why I put these little, you know, metal pieces in here. Well, I actually purchased an emergency blanket. So I'm gonna go sit out in the yard for a little while, play my crow sounds. I'm gonna put this over my shoulders and see if maybe we can make contact. I really hope so. I really want this. I really hope this works out. So join me. Okay, so again, I'm gonna come back out here every few days and try to present some peanuts, use my little reflective sheet here. I'm really glad I chose like the hottest day this week. I think it's like 97 today, to come out here and wrap up in a silver blanket. So the neighbors are home. Yay, they saw me. Yeah. All right, guys, so this is the situation. I've been coming out here for the past couple weeks and replacing my nuts for the crows, and I have yet to receive any gifts, or really I haven't even heard any crows. I don't see them, I don't hear them around my house. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some more nuts. I'm going to use my phone, which I record on here, to use the crow sounds to try to call them over. I hear crows in other neighborhoods, like when we're out, I hear them and then I play the crow call and I interact with them, but I haven't been able to actually lure them to my house, to my yard. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try this again and see what happens. Hopefully one will arrive and I will be, oh, I'll be so happy. So here we go. So do you guys remember that old Britney Spears video that was like, she's like, I thought that old lady threw it in the ocean in the end. And the guy's like, well, I went down there and I got it for you. That is literally the feeling I'm gonna have if a crow comes and brings me treasure. Please, crows, bring me treasure. Just like that guy brought Britney Spears treasure in that one Britney Spears video. All right, so here's the situation. I've been coming out here daily with the peanuts and with the cat food and whatever else I might have scraps around the house. And I've yet to attract any crows at all, like 0%. I don't hear them. I've gone to the store and I've heard them cawing at the store, so I play my bird sounds and I get them to interact with me. And I have literally had my phone out the window playing those sounds all the way en route to my house, hoping that like I might persuade them to come on a little trip and check it out over here. But nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put out some more peanuts, and I actually have some of this like movie popcorn that we got before we went to go see Beetlejuice, and it's garbage, it's not good. So I'm just gonna give that to the squirrels and hopefully to the crows if I can get them around here. So we're gonna do this again, and maybe by some grace of God a crow is gonna show up and bring me the diamond from the bottom of the ocean that guy got for Britney Spears. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm gonna go grab my aluminum blanket, and I am using my phone to record right now, and I don't have another phone that has the crow sounds on it because my children refuse to let me download the crow sound onto their phones. because they're haters and they don't like the crows. They just haven't realized yet how amazing they are. So I'm going to grab my aluminum blanket and sit out here, and maybe, oh my God, maybe we'll catch one. Not catch it, but just have one arrive, and you know, I don't want to catch it. All right, thank you for staying with me through this whole experiment. Do you ever get the feeling that like you're just set up to fail? Like I really went into this with really, really big dreams and expectations, and it just completely fell flat. And unfortunately, like sometimes that just seems like that's what life is. It's just a culmination of effort, a culmination of trials and errors, and maybe once in a blue moon you might actually, you know, get that home run or get that touchdown or whatever it is. But yeah, so basically, over the past 4 weeks, at least, maybe even 6 weeks, I've been putting peanuts out, using the reflective blanket, you know, trying all the little tips and tricks that I saw online to try to attract the crows, and I have yet to actually see a crow on our property. So I see the crows at like the grocery store, and I would play the crow music for them, and then I would literally drive to my house playing the crow music, trying to get them to come over this way. But alas, I failed and was not able to do that. And that's okay. A lot of life is just going to be failure after failure, and that's okay. I was actually a part of a Young Writers Summit. It was part of like our homeschool curriculum that we did. We did this workshop, and there was a young lady who was probably 21, 23 years old, something like that. And she was an aspiring author, and she had actually published a couple of books already. She was just amazing. If I can think of her name, I'll put her name up in the video here. And during this summit, she talked about failures, and she said that failures are something that you should be proud of. And she actually had on her wall just a block basically that had 1 to 100, and every time she would reach out to somebody about joining them on their podcast or reaching out to a newspaper to see if they would do an article on her. And then she was as the result, she was rejected. She would actually mark that off on a list, because she really turned it into a positive thing that showed that if you're failing, at least it shows that you're trying. And that's something that I'm trying to embrace. So what I did is I printed off a piece of paper from 1 to 100 here, and the first one, the first failure, if you remember, was trying to figure out if my dog had a preference on the tennis ball. And that was a big fail. If you can remember that video, you remember what happened with that. And then number 2 here is my my effort to get the crows to come around. So, and I failed, didn't work out, but that's okay, that's life. I still love crows, and I'm still going to put food out for them intermediately, and I'm still going to try to communicate with them, connect with them, because that would just be amazing. And if that ever does happen, if it does come to fruition, you better believe I'm going to post it on here, because I want the world to know that I have befriended the crows. So, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.